Welcome to RBN, the RacinBoys Broadcasting Network. I'm Scott Traylor, again live here at the PRI show in Indianapolis, Indiana. Visiting with us right now is one of the great drivers from the Pacific Northwest, the Rocket. Roger Crockett joins us. How you doing, Roger?
Doing pretty well.
How's things going for you here at PRI?
Doing good. It's nice, getting to meet people that maybe you haven't met before that help you over the phone, and obviously visiting some friends that have helped us for a long time.
How many times have you been to the PRI?
I'm going to say maybe 5 times, not a ton.
How big a deal is it for drivers like yourself to come in here, networking? It's a social event as well, but I mean, it's a real opportunity to meet new people, create new relationships here.
It is, you never know, who you might meet downtown hanging out or whatever, and it's always, anybody that supports you, it's a huge deal to go up and shake their hand and tell them thank you. It's really hard to do this sport without all their help, so every little thing adds up.
And especially now, a new resident of Oklahoma, so not up there in your comfort zone around all the people that have been behind you all these years.
Yeah, you see so many familiar faces here from racing. That's always cool. It's definitely a little bit different. A lot of people that helped us maybe don't necessarily know, how long we've been moved, or maybe some people you haven't seen in years just don't know you've been here for a year, moved, done deal, not just traveling, So it's nice to do that and also help, get the word out on our business being more central with all embroidery stuff and everything. So it's been great.
Yep. Let's talk about 2018, man. The rumor was that you were going to run the full national tour, and boy, you started off with a bang of that victory down at Devil's Bowl.
Yeah, that was probably the worst thing for us. With moving, we had no business trying to take on the whole thing, and we go out and win and felt really good, and, it gets you all pumped up and everything, and, kind of worked out a few things to team up with somebody else also to run the whole thing, and it just, we didn't run well. We ran terrible. Couple crashes here. There's just a lot of things that added up, and then on top of that, the situation we had worked out to make it, feasible. They kind of bailed out on their end of it, so that made it really hard for us to try and scramble and do a lot of traveling to make it happen. And sometimes you just got to really assess where you're at and do what's best for the team. Yeah.
And there's no secret that you would still love to run the national tour this year. It was funny. We were just talking before we went on the air that. How close you came to really staying into the point fund money at the end of the season. I think you finished up 14th in points and just missing the money by just a few percentages.
Yeah, it wasn't much. We needed the last few races to not rain out. It's definitely a huge goal at this point. We're going to come out and say we're doing it yet, not knowing for a fact that I can. Working on a few things with help to be able to make it happen between our business and help on the race car. And, if I need to fly home in between some races, I need to be able to do that to work. And so we've got somebody that can manage that. And it all comes down to funding at the end of the day. We all know that. Everybody's fighting the same battles there.
And you just can't have a hand. When you rely on somebody to get that rig up and down the road while you're back home working, take care of things, get the maintenance done, make sure the car's prepared for the next event, it just can't be a mud scraper, unfortunately, can it?
No, it's got to be somebody, that you trust or has a good background, and a lot of times those guys take a lot of money. So working on a couple things that we could maybe help employ somebody through our business as well and do some things and then be able to take advantage of their abilities there. So we're working hard on it. Nothing's set in stone yet, but we're definitely getting closer.
Talk how somebody would get a hold of you if they're interested in that position, because it seems like there's always somebody out there that wants to do it. And the one thing that I tell people all the time, they say, I'd love to go out there and I'd run full-time on the tour. But then you get a guy out there for about 5 or 6 weeks. The guy starts to run out of gas, doesn't realize that you got to work as hard as you have to make this happen. And that happens a lot of times. People go in gung-ho, but they don't really know what they're up against.
Yeah, it does. First off, to address that is, getting a hold of us on Facebook, my Twitter, Roger Crockett, generally pretty easy to find me, in our business, Rocket Designs. It's definitely not an easy schedule. It's almost a point where you can work full-time, but there's a couple times a year where you just can't make that happen. And we moved at the end of the day, we moved to really get our business growing. So it's a fine line. If I focus just on that in 3 or 4 years, I could probably afford to do it, but then I wouldn't race enough to be worth a crap. So you just definitely got to play what you think's best for you. And right now it's still a huge goal to make that happen, to run that full deal.
I want to talk in terms of ASCS in this series and the recognition it should get for the parity across the board. It seems like so many people can win in ASCS, and that's what makes it as difficult as anything. Is there's not just 2 or 3 teams or 2 or 3 drivers going to win all the races. Yeah,
definitely. There's a lot of reasons for that. I think drivers are a lot better than probably some people realize, and in the format, you got to face it. Sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. To me, though, if you're doing your job, you should be fast enough to overcome whatever you draw on any given night. And there's going to be a few occasions maybe not as easy, but at the end of the day, the guys that are really, really good, they generally find their way to the front. And myself, last year we were nowhere near that. We were terrible. Luckily, the end of the year we found 90% sure why we finally got our speed back. But I'll tell you, it made it a lot better winter than to going in wondering why we're no good.
JR1 chassis now.
Yeah, we did switch to that partway through the year, and we made a ton of changes, kind of chasing something. Ended up being a product that we haven't changed in a really long time, but been really happy with working with them, and look forward to the future with that as well.
You're living next door to Johnny Herrera. How's that been? He's a character, and it was just announced this weekend that he's going to be the crew chief for Harley White. Your relationship with Johnny, I know that he spends a lot of time. You spend a lot of time in each other's place. Yeah,
we do. It's just funny how we hit it off. I've known Johnny for a long time. We've raced hard a lot of times, never had an altercation, which is good. Yeah. And we hit it off like brothers almost. We get along really well, and it's great. It's nice having somebody that's into the same things, obviously, next to you, and just to be able to get along as well as we do. And if he needs a hand or I need a hand, we're always there for one another. So it's been great.
If you want to help Roger stay out on the national tour, the thing you could do the most is patronize his business, Rocket Designs. Tell everybody about your business.
Yeah, we started off really small. With vinyl, and we expanded that to having full wrap capabilities and everything, and then our embroidery side, we started off with just a little tiny machine off Craigslist, and now we have a 6-head, an 8-head, a single head, and it's amazing what we're able to do. And I couldn't do this without Brandy. She works her tail off for us.
She might be the hardest working member of the family.
Oh, definitely, no question. Yeah, exactly. It's just we work really hard. We do a lot of World of Outlaw stuff, and we do Tony Stewart stuff. We do have some amazing customers, Rico Abreu and Bobby Johnson. Can't say enough for how much she's done for our business. So you have great customers, and you want to do a good job for them, and it helps you keep growing.
Yeah. Well, Roger, thanks for taking the time with us here at PRI. We hope that you can get out there and run full time with us on the tour, and if there's last thing you'd like to say to people out there that you're supporters, and maybe get them involved with your program.
Yeah, it's just it's a fun deal, definitely a fun series, and we're going to do our best. There's no doubt about that. But I think next year we'll actually be fast, which is a huge advantage compared to how terrible last year was. So looking forward to it.
Roger, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you have it, Roger, the Rocket Crockett from the Pacific Northwest.